Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Restoring Hope with Crosswinds Counseling. I'm your host, Curtis Smith. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. And as always, a huge thanks to the community partners who make it possible for us to be here every week. Prime 47 Downtown, Shepherd Community Center, and Tesco. The support of these incredible companies makes it possible for us to be here every Thursday night on WHMB TV 40. Tonight, our first guest is Mel Goldstein, the founder of the Indy Aquatics Masters. Mel, obviously swimming is central to what your organization does. Tell me all about it.
Well, Indy Aquatic Masters is part of U.S. Masters Swimming, which is a national governing body for adult aquatics. And it's essentially an adult aquatic fitness program for adults who have chosen aquatics as a means of exercise for a healthier lifestyle. It's basically made up of 4 components. You have your fitness swimmer, you have your triathlete, you have open water swimming, and then there's those people that like to compete, and they compete within age groups of 5 years.
Obviously, Mel, we focus on mental health here at Crosswinds and on restoring hope, but the physical health and the mental health component seem to be so connected. Do you see that play out through swimming?
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, first of all, swimming is a non-bearing sport because of the water. That's the equalizer. But I think that people who've chosen aquatics as a means of exercise and do it on a regular basis, their whole lifestyle becomes different. And I think it's staying very active is extremely important.
I think for a lot of us, for me, like swimming was something I really enjoyed as a kid, and then you become an adult and I kind of just got away from it. Does that happen a lot where people get away from it and kind of come back into it as the older they get?
It's really kind of amazing when I see a new swimmer. I actually had one this morning, and I said, "How long's it been since you've been swimming?" He says, "Well," he says, "I last swam in college 20 years ago, and I wanted to get back into it." And I think that's the case, that people enjoy being a part of the aquatics community and that form of exercise.
Is it like riding a bike, or does it take a little bit of time to kind of get back?
Yeah. That's funny you should say it. It takes a little bit of time. They get the feel back of their stroke and so forth and so on. And of course, we try to help them with their technique as well. We just try to remind them what you did before, it ain't going to happen again today.
If you take 20 years off, that actually hurts a little bit.
So don't tell me what you did, because it ain't going to be the same.
Give me a little bit of the history, Mel, going back. When did you guys start? Why this passion for swimming?
Well, we started the program back in 2011. Before that, we had a program at the YMCA from 1997 to 2011. And we decided that we wanted to have a program that was available to the community. And we decided that with this program, we would be open to everyone, all aspects. And first of all, master swimming is a very diverse sport. It's gender, it's open to anybody who wants to swim. An adjunct to that is we have an adult learn to swim program. This adult learn to swim program is taught on a weekly basis for those people who don't know how to swim. The CDC says 35% of the adult population doesn't know how to swim 25 yards. And there's roughly something like 10 drownings every day. And we want to stop that. And we think that by teaching the adults to swim, their kids will swim. And so when we started this program with the Adult Learn to Swim program, our mission was to save lives, because we've been endorsed by the American Red Cross. We do their 5 compliances, which is jumping in the water over their head, making sure they can stay treading water, swim 25 yards, and climb out of the pool. if somebody can do that, and we teach them that in 8 weeks, then I've saved somebody's life.
Wow. So have you actually seen improvement there in those metrics?
Yes. It's unbelievable.
That is unbelievable. Because
Yeah,
you think
and
of it
I'm
as
not trying to get them
recreational.
back into the exercise part.
Yeah.
I'm just teaching them to swim.
Right. Because you think of it as a recreational thing. I guess I hadn't really considered it as a life-saving activity.
No, it's not only is it life-saving, but this gives them the opportunity. This really gives them the opportunity to participate with their grandchildren. And by the way, our instructors are adults. They're not young people. And no disrespect to the young people, but a grandmother relates to a grandmother. And so when they get done, they know that they can go in the water safely with their grandchildren and have fun. So that's good not only for mental health, but it's also good for them health-wise. And hopefully we're cutting into that drowning statistic.
Right. Circling back to the mental health piece, I know you're connected to Crosswinds Counseling through one of our executives. What is it about Crosswinds Counseling that you love and that we're doing here in Indianapolis, kind of in lockstep with you?
Well, I think that what we're trying to do, and with Mark, is to try to make the community aware that there are programs that are out there that are there for your help, and this is just one aspect of those programs that are out there.
That's great. Mel, thanks so much for your time. If
I'm glad to do it.
Somebody wanted to get connected to Indy Aquatics Masters, how would they best do that?
I think that they can go to our website, indyaquaticmasters.com,
Okay.
and get all the information. And we have an executive director that can answer any of the questions they want. If they want to learn how to swim, they can join and sign up for any one of the classes. And we have several sites throughout the city.
indyaquaticmasters.com.
indyaquatic.com.
Good deal. Mel, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate all you're doing in our community, too.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. Welcome back to Restoring Hope with Crosswinds Counseling. I'm Curtis Smith. Earlier I mentioned our sponsors, and tonight we're lucky enough to be joined by one of them. Lisa Lenzke, the general manager of Prime 47 Downtown, is with us tonight.
Excellent.
Lisa, thanks for being here.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
You joined us a few months ago, and we mainly want to focus on mental health of your staff and what the connection with Crosswinds corporate counseling program is doing for you. But first, just give us an update on Prime 47 Downtown. Obviously, the best restaurant in Indianapolis. We know that.
I like to think so, absolutely.
Right. How are things going, seriously, though, out of the pandemic? We're kind of, I don't know if we're fully out, but we're mainly out, I guess, of the pandemic.
Downtown is coming back strong,
Nice.
Very strong. We really, since we started to see some conventions and what have you coming in at the end of summer through this fall and winter, Pacers are back downtown, the Colts are back downtown, holiday parties, NCAA football championship game. In all honesty, 2021 was a record year for us.
Wow.
And we are crushing that right now for year over year as well. So
Wow.
it is coming in strong.
And part of that has got to be the mental health aspect of the community, just everyone wanting to get over the pandemic, be back together, be out for a nice dinner.
Out celebrating.
Connect with people.
Absolutely, out to celebrate, have a great time. Everyone was, they were locked down. We were locked down.
Right.
It's crazy when you think about what was happening 2 years ago right now.
Right.
Those Facebook memories, when they pop up, are dull. So everyone being able to come out and celebrate and just, again, celebrate that time together is exciting. And downtown's bouncing right back. So I'm excited to be a part of it.
Very cool. Well, let's talk about mental health. Your staff, your team connects with Crosswinds through the corporate counseling program. Tell me what that has meant to your staff.
In all honesty, it has been clutch. We're looking at, like I said, we're putting up record numbers. We're seeing hundreds, if not thousands of people come through every week. And our job, providing dinner and entertainment, if you will, to everyone, that requires a lot of being on stage and performing. And, everyone's still understaffed, of course. So everyone's stretching, working a little bit harder, a little bit further, open a little bit longer, some extra days, extra hours. You get some burnout, you get some stress. So it's nice that I can have an employee call me in a state of panic. And I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can show up today. I'm really crashing. And I said, okay, here's what I need from you. Don't worry about tonight. Don't worry about tomorrow. The only thing I need from you is to call into Crosswinds.
Wow.
That's it. That's all I need for you to do. I'll get your shifts covered tonight. Your mental health is much more important than coming and selling steaks. I'll take care of that. You have to take care of yourself first, because that reflects on you, your family, your personal well-being, and that is the most important part of being a human.
And when you say that to your employees, when they hear that message from you, what does that mean to them?
It's
I ask that because most employers, or maybe this is stereotypical, many employers wouldn't say, hey, I got your shifts covered tonight. Your mental health is more important than my bottom line.
A lot are going to tell you just to grind through it.
Right, get
Figure
through
it
it
out. That's not my problem.
Suck it up.
In the last 2 years, we've learned you have to have compassion. I've been in this industry a very long time, and when I started at 21, 22, I was under the suck it up and let's get it figured out.
Yeah.
Leave it at the door, grind through it. That's not the boss I enjoyed working for. It's not the boss I want to be to my staff. So yes, if I am able to help them out and then they can call me, a week later, 2 weeks later, and yes, they got the help. I feel better. I'd love to start coming back in. Maybe not 6 days a week, but if you can start to work me in, because it is important.
Right.
And whether it's talking it through, whether it's the life coaching, if it's the counseling aspect of it, it is so important to listen to your team and to listen to the heartbeat of the restaurant, because it is the team. That's what sets you apart from the other 37 steakhouses in Indianapolis.
Tell me about, maybe, and without names, but tell me about a time or two where you've maybe seen a member of your staff get connected to Crosswinds, see a counselor. What's the change in them? What's the difference when they do get back into work? How has that helped them process through the stress or the anxiety they're dealing with?
Absolutely. It is a night and day change.
Wow.
It is a night and day change. It's everything from being a little sunken, not really making eye contact, not really engaging with anyone. When you're in a depressive episode, these are the things you do. You kind of go into hiding, or at least I should say generally.
Yeah.
So then when someone can start to talk with a professional and not with the bartender across the street, not talking with a Jack and Coke, let's seek some real help and not try to self-medicate through it. And then you can work through the issues that are at hand, and then suddenly you start to stand a little bit taller. Light comes from your eyes again, and now you are engaging with your teammates and you're engaging with your guests, and that's the business that we are in. And I want to make sure that my guests are having a great time, my staff is having a great time. Yes, there are still going to be long days, there's still going to be hard days, and also you're not even sure what your guests are coming in with. We're just feeding 300 people a night. So suddenly you're feeding off of what energy you're bringing in, but also the energy that your guests are bringing in. That's a lot to handle.
Yeah.
So to be able to call or text or do a FaceTime or a Zoom meeting with a professional counselor, I really think it's life-saving. I do.
Wow. So if somebody were considering doing the corporate counseling program with Crosswinds, obviously you'd endorse it. What would you say to them if they were in that process of thinking, should I do this? Is it worth it? Is it going to help my staff?
In the year that we've been doing it, absolutely 100% a benefit, worth it, do it. I thought out of the gate that a lot more of my staff would take advantage of it. So we're like, okay, maybe all right, everyone gets 5 free sessions and da-da-da-da. We're kind of like talking to the counselors and it's like, if it's working, let's keep them going. Let's keep them on I don't want to be like, here's your 5 sessions and now figure it out. If it is a benefit and they're working the program and it's benefiting them as a human, and then bringing it into the restaurant and helping out, with the staff and with the guests, why wouldn't we continue?
Beautifully said. Lisa, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
If you want the best steak in Indianapolis, you know where to go.
That's
Prime
right.
47 downtown. Lisa, thanks for being again. And thank you for taking care of the mental health of your staff and our community. Obviously, it's been an outlet for our community to get back into regular, normal life. So thanks so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.
We'll be right back. Welcome back. Each week here on Restoring Hope, we focus on that one word in the title of our show, and we realize it isn't always easy to maintain hope in this world. Tonight in our Beacon of Hope segment, Crosswinds executive Gordon Haynes examines how we can have hope even in the midst of trials.
Hi, my name's Gordon. I'm an executive with Crosswinds. Today I want to spend a couple minutes talking about a Bible verse that I find to be filled with hope. First, I want to share an illustration with you. I know a young man. He struggled to find the job when he graduated from college. He spent time in several different industries. Always did a great job, but he really couldn't find happiness. He'd start out happy saying, I think I finally found it. But in each position, things eventually led to being unhappy and disappointed and feeling like I'm just not where I'm supposed to be. Finally today, he's in his dream job. He's happy, he's satisfied, and he's extremely successful. And we were talking the other day, and he told me, you know what, I should have come here first and avoided all those other jobs. I told him I understood that comment, but I challenged his perspective. In each of those previous jobs, he learned a diverse set of skills that clearly contribute to his success today. If he hadn't done those other jobs, he wouldn't be the man he is today. I told him, I believe God was preparing you to be successful where you are today. Without that preparation, you would not have had the skills you brought to this job. My verse is James chapter 1, verses 2 through 4. In that verse, the Bible says, consider it pure joy whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature, complete, and not lacking in anything. When I'm going through challenges, I keep that perspective. The fact that God is simply preparing me for his purpose and his plan for my life. That gives me great hope, and I hope it gives you hope also. Have a great day.
Welcome back to Restoring Hope with Crosswinds Counseling. Every Thursday night, we spend a little time with a counselor who shares their thoughts with us. Tonight, Steve Weaver joins us to address something we've all gone through: conflict in relationship.
Hi, I'm Steve with Crosswinds Counseling. I'm a therapist here, and one thing that I wanted to talk with you about today is this concept of yielding to win. This is an Aikido concept from the martial art Aikido, which is about de-escalation, basically, more than it is about escalation. So I talk about this a lot in terms of conflict with my couples and with families and with everyone, really, is this concept of yielding to win. So I can illustrate it by the use of my finger trap here. This is a Chinese finger trap. And if you see, the more I pull against it and try to get out of it, the more tension it has on my fingers. And the more I move towards it, the more I get comfortable and I can let go. It'll let go of me. So this is kind of analogous to our relationships. So here's an example. A wife can say, you never say I'm beautiful. Well, this can be met with, I always call you beautiful. I did it 10 times yesterday. So that's a push. And that's not as fulfilling. It doesn't lead to more understanding in the relationship. It kind of disconnects us. So here's an example of yielding to win. Let's take the same situation. You never say I'm beautiful. So that can be met with, yeah, you're really concerned. You really want to be valued in your life, and by hearing this more, it will give you the sense of you being valued by me. I get it. I'll work on that, definitely. You can see how one is more of like a push, which outlined by this, or a pull, and that kind of breaks us down. As you hear, it kind of breaks the more I pull on that. And the other one's more of a push and an understanding, and it's freeing, basically, in our lives. And it's more fulfilling because now we're creating an environment of mutual understanding rather than just being understood. So again, to summarize, yielding to win in a relationship, in conflict, pushing towards understanding leads to more fulfilling lives.
Great stuff tonight, Steve. Thank you. Well, you've heard a lot about Crosswinds Counseling. If you need to meet with a counselor, Crosswinds has skilled and loving counselors and therapists ready to meet with you. You can visit crosswindscounseling.org to find a counselor. However, maybe you find yourself with different needs. Maybe you're a counselor or a therapist yourself, looking for a like-minded organization that would align with your goals and allow you to help others. Crosswinds Counseling may be the right place for you. We're looking for tremendous men and women to invest into the lives of others and help them when they need it most. You can check out all of the career opportunities at crosswindscounseling.org/careers. There are opportunities for people who aren't counselors and therapists too. We also need great people in the office to support those helping in the field. If you know someone who would like to join the team, please let them know about Crosswinds. The need for counselors has never been higher. Thanks again to our partners in bringing you Restoring Hope with Crosswinds Counseling tonight, Tesco, Shepherd Community Center, and Prime 47 Downtown. And thanks to all of you for spending part of your Thursday evening with us. We greatly appreciate your time. We'll see you next Thursday night right here on WHMB TV 40. Stay safe and be blessed.